I have discussed Bandai's buyout of Sunrise before briefly, but despite Gundam creator Yoshiyuki Tomino being an ass about the matter, it actually was to the company's benefit as their more direct means of sponsorship allowed them a chance to produce more series, which were in demand from them and would not have happened without the buyout. Tomino's objection to it was tied solely to the man's hatred of merchandising and sponsorship, and his view that Bandai was their worst sponsor because they don't engage with creative people. Which, as I have often pointed out, is Tomino talking out of his ass. Bandai's hands-off policies with regards to the creation of series is done so they don't screw up the creative staff of a show and ruin something with improper mandates or hand-holding. They are involved in the development stages of a series, can give notes and ideas to creators who don't have to do anything with them, but can improve the process if they at least consider them. And Sunrise much preferred working with them over Takara, who would give Sunrise long, bullet-pointed lists of what their creative staff could and could not do, which was a headache for them to appease, as Takara strangled good content in their sleep with that shit. Whereas Bandai? Yeah, a lot of creators besides Tomino have discussed at length how much they appreciated the utter freedom they were given by which they are allowed to craft their stories, as long as there is something merchandisable to help pay the expense of making their series in the first place, which most are more than happy to work into their plans. As Bandai, many times, has showcased an understanding of the creative process, which requires the freedom to create. Thus, a show or movie being screwed up is rarely caused by Bandai themselves, and the blame lies with the production staff or some bullshit executive, unless some form of pattern of misconduct is seen reported on. While there are many things Bandai is responsible for in screwing over a series, cases like Tomino claimed are largely the exception, not the rule. And them doing that is a showcasing of trust towards creators that allowing them the freedom to do what they want will mean they will do the best job they plausibly can. That's not the indifference Tomino accuses them of, just so they can sell toys. It's the expectation that the writers and directors on a project know what they are doing, so that they don't have to intervene and tell them no. They trust them to be reasonable, professional adults. And Tomino regularly has shown himself to be anything but. Like, we fans of entertainment media really do need to have a conversation about how people keep villainizing the mere existence of merchandising, as opposed to the problems that can result from when someone destroys creative pursuits, reputation of content, and its legacy just to sell merch. These two things are not the same, and it's far past the time we stop listening to those who say they are the same and treating that word as gospel. Something needs to pay the production costs of this stuff. That is the reality of the matter. So can we just focus on condemning the producers who make really shitty creative decisions just for the sole reason of selling toys, and producers that insist on over-merchandising a property more than it needs to be? Cause I've got a laundry list of toy producers who are guilty of that shit. As with Sunrise, this is in turn where we got a number of great series in the 90s that have had long-term impacts and become lasting favorites. Vision of Escaflowne, Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, Crest of the Stars, Better Man, and others. 3 of the most influential anime of all time came about because of this, which once again asserts my baffledness about Tomino continuing to be a dick about all this decades later, as it's pretty clear whatever beef he has with Bandai, other creators have not had the same problems as him, so it's more than likely that he's the one with the problem. But as I was saying, the Big O resulted from this ability by Sunrise to support smaller productions as well, thanks to Bandai's buyout, creating a system of tiers and tentpole series. The larger, more profitable productions, such as Mobile Suit Gundam, being the tentpoles that supplied the company the capital to finance tier productions. Smaller series which could be invested in at a reasonable loss at worst if they didn't end up drawing the attention they wanted.